This is deer hunting season 2022, Wisconsin, gun. I'm gonna try this. You know, you get kind of lost on YouTube, you just start looking at videos and everything. Well, I've been watching a lot of hunting camp videos, and I don't know, I find them very enjoyable. And I've been hunting since I was probably about, well, the age that you could hunt, which I believe is 15. I obviously went years prior with my dad when I was younger, before I actually could shoot a deer. But yeah, I've been hunting with my family and relatives and friends since, yeah, early teen. So really enjoy it. But back to what I was saying though, watching these videos, I really enjoyed them, and I'm thinking, oh man, maybe I should take a stab at this. You know, we have a goofy bunch of guys we go with, and I think people might find that entertaining. I am by no means, even though I just said I've hunted for so many years, I am by no means I wouldn't classify myself as a very good hunter. I mean, I've harvested deer before, but I just, I only go for gun. I usually go for a weekend. For me, gun, or I should say, for me, deer hunting or hunting in general, or anything outdoors for that nature, fishing or whatever it may be, I just like being out in God's creation. I really do. I don't need to get a deer to enjoy the hunt. I don't need to catch a fish to enjoy fishing. For me, it's just being out in nature, in God's creation, just taking it all in, really enjoying the beauty. Wisconsin has some beautiful woods and waters, if you've never been here before, and the camaraderie, just being with the guys. My father, who I hunted most of my life with, passed away in 2016. My grandfather passed away years prior to that, and a couple uncles that we would go regularly with, or every year with, are gone now. So I now hunt with my brother-in-law and my cousin and a couple of their friends, and we have just as good as time. Yeah, I miss the days of hunting with my grandpa and my dad, but when I'm out in the woods now, I have those memories to think back on, and yeah, there's moments of sadness, but there's also moments of gratitude and appreciation that I was able to have those times with them. But anyhow, I'm going to give this a shot. I don't know if I'll finish this completely, but I'm on my way to scout today. We always scout the weekend before. We hunt public land, Kettle Moraine area. So for those of you that hunt public, you know, it can be kind of a challenge with other hunters out there. So we try to get out there the weekend before to kind of mark our areas. Hopefully people who are also hunting those areas see that we're in the area and respect that. We've been hunting the same area for a while. I go with my brother-in-law, who's been hunting this area since he was a child. So this is almost like private land, because he knows it so well and he's hunted it so often. but it is public land, and we try to be respectful of others that are hunting in that area, and we hope that they respect us as well. So I'm going to try doing this video. We'll see how it goes. I hope you enjoy it. Sorry if I rambled there. I just kind of wanted to give you a little context before we get into this here. So. Kind of exciting to see some snow here. It's been a couple years since I've seen any snow this early, this south of in Wisconsin. But I mean, we're a week away from opening day, so temps look like they're going to stay pretty cold. It looks like there's a really good chance that there'll be a little bit of snow, which is great. Not comfort-wise, because that means it's just going to be colder on the ground, but it's going to make visibility 10 times better for seeing deer in the woods and seeing movement in the woods. So, and tracking, for all that matter. With all the well, actually, tracking is probably the most important thing with the snow, because with all the leaves on the ground, and bow hunters know this, it can be very difficult tracking a deer, especially if there's a lot of blood to track when you got all the leaves on the ground with the different shades of red and brown and all that. So, so snow definitely is going to help for tracking deer and for visibility. I'm excited to see it. All right, a couple things I want to point out as I'm driving out here. I was just thinking about this. Number one, I'm going to be using my phone, believe it or not, to video this whole, to film this whole trip. Some of you may be thinking that's a little foolish, because there is equipment out there now, like GoPros and stuff that you can use. But I think my iPhone does a pretty good job. So I'm just going to roll with that. So I'll be using my cell phone, so if there's any audio issues, video issues, just keep that in mind. Also, I wanted to point out where we hunt Kettle Moraine here. As I said, it's public, so we have to be mindful of that. But man, growing up, hunting with my dad and my grandpa had a place up in Trempealeau, Wisconsin, which is near Buffalo County, which I believe has the world record whitetail deer harvest. Big deer out there, but even in Trempealeau County, some big deer. But my grandpa had a farmhouse up there, and so I always had the luxury of staying there and literally hunting out the backyard. The farmer that owned the land around us was very gracious to let us hunt on his land, and it was literally in our backyard. So growing up, the kind of hunting I was used to was sitting out in the woods, got a little chilled, come back in, get a cup of coffee, whatever, take a nap, go back out. We had that luxury. Now that I hunt on public land with my brother-in-law, once you're out there, you're out there. There is none of that luxury. And I'm not complaining, but it is something I certainly had to get used to. And when we go out there now, it's an all-day sit, which obviously increases your chances of getting a deer. But we are dealing with the elements all day, and it's supposed to be, I think, in the 30s, which is going to be pretty chilly sitting there. I've hunted in way colder weather than that. I know I've sat in below 0 temps before, but it's going to be in the 30s, which is good deer hunting weather, I would say. I mean, cold enough to keep the deer moving a little bit, but definitely enough to chill you if you're sitting there all day. So over the years, I've improved and upgraded my gear. I got some I'm gonna try these heated socks this year. Pretty high tech. You can adjust the temp or the heat levels through an app. Kind of goofy, but I'll give it a shot. I shouldn't even say goofy, pretty cool. So I'm gonna be trying these heated socks. Bought some really good base layer stuff over the years. This jacket that I'm wearing now is kind of a synthetic down, but it's very comfortable, very lightweight, but very warm. So I'm testing it today in our scouting to see how it holds up at the temps. But I bought some really good boots a couple years ago. So any of you that hunt outdoors all day without any luxurious sort of deer blind know where I'm coming from with this. Gear is the name of the game. If you don't dress properly and gear up properly, it can lead to a very miserable hunt, and I've had those. There's plenty of good gear out there to make the hunt comfortable, and yeah, it's just a matter of setting aside some money to invest in that. But the other thing I wanted to point out that I was thinking about was that Kettle Moraine terrain is very different than what I was used to. As I said, hunting in Trempealeau County, it was more flat farmland, some rolling hills. But out in Kettle Moraine, it's a reason why they call it Kettle Moraine, because of the kettles, the big kettles, the big, whatever you call them, gullies, ravines, whatever you want to call them. There's many of those. And so walking, as you often do when you're hunting, can be pretty physical when you're walking around. And obviously, if you get a deer, getting it out of there is more of a challenge, especially, let alone being on public land where you can't drive a four-wheeler or UTV out there to get your deer. You have to drag it out. That was another luxury I had growing up hunting at my grandpa's place. So a lot of things I had to get used to. Again, I'm not complaining at all. It's just things that are totally different than what I was accustomed to that I had to adjust to. But I've learned to really appreciate that, and believe it or not, look forward to some of these challenges in a way. I like challenging myself. So yeah, those are a couple things I was thinking about on the drive out to scouting here, and I'm assuming some of you can probably relate to what I'm saying. So all right, here we go. All right, I'm at my spot here. I'll turn the camera around so you can see it. But yeah, coming in here, a lot of tracks, which is pretty encouraging. A lot of rubs on the trees too, which is kind of neat. All right, you can see there's my blind. It's just kind of built up with branches and fallen trees in the area here. But when you can see when I'm in my blind here, I have a pretty cool view here. Kind of goes down into those pines back there, and from here to those pines, it's probably about 50 yards. I got a doe there last year. So I do know this area does have deer that frequent the area. Last year there was one that came right off here down this side of the blind. But yeah, this is where I'm going to be hunting. This is my blind here. I think this is my second or third year sitting here. I've sat in another blind that's a little bit more to the, I don't even know my directions, but off to the right here, I had a blind that I sat at a couple years ago. But yeah, this is where I'm going to be. Yep, this is it. Man, it's so peaceful and quiet here. A little chilly, but as I said on the drive in here, if I have the right gear, which I've invested in, it should be a pretty comfortable sit here. I was toying with the idea of using one of those pop-up blinds. I never used one before, but I thought, oh man, that'll conceal me better. It'll maybe keep me out of the wind. But I'm a little torn because I think it's gonna limit my visibility from where I'm sitting right now. I have a pretty good peripheral vision here, or peripheral view of everything here, like a 180 view of my shooting lanes here, and I don't know if I'll have that with that ground blind. I'll have to check that out. And I've never used one before, and they're not hard. I mean, you just literally open the thing up and the thing constructs itself. But I just feel like it. I just don't think it's a smart move, just because I've never used one before, and I don't know if it's too late in the game here to change things up. But who knows? Maybe that'll be yet to be seen. Maybe I'll decide to use it, or at least try it. Because worst case scenario, I can just take it down and put it back in the bag. But just another thing I got to carry in, which I only like to carry things in that I know I'm going to use. You can see that we kick the leaf, we push the leaves to the side here. I'm going to take some more branches that are around the blind and kind of build up the sides of this and just kind of freshen it up for two reasons. Number one, the thing does seem to fall apart over the year with all the weather elements, but I also want other hunters that are going to be scouting the area to see that, give them a sense that this area is being hunted and used. So that's our main reason, one of the main reasons for scouting. We also want to kind of see what kind of deer activity we're seeing. So cool. I'm getting more and more excited. This time next Saturday, I'll be sitting here and maybe hopefully have a deer harvested. If the weather's like this for opening day, it's going to be a great hunt. I mean, it's not super, super cold, but enough chill in the air to keep the deer moving and for it to feel like hunting. I know a lot of times I've gone through the years gun hunting and it's 50, 60 degrees out and it just doesn't feel like hunting to me. So these cooler temperatures definitely make it feel like hunting. I love this spot. I mean, I got a great view. Probably shooting around, I got a shooting lane around the entire blind here, which is nice. My brother-in-law Greg's up that way, so I have to be careful not to shoot too high because he's over there. But other than that, I pretty much can shoot this whole little ravine here, which is awesome. In front of me are the pines. And I know deer have come out of there many times. In fact, last year the doe that I got came out of those pines. So man, I could just sit here. I don't even have a gun right now, but I could just sit here all day and just take this in. The colors, just the crispness of the air, just the smells, everything, the sight smells, and just the quiet time, getting away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. This beats hands down any day at work, even if you don't see a deer. So I'm trying to use a lot of smaller twigs and stuff. I have the big branches and logs sort of to give it the structure, but now I'm trying to soften up the edges here with some smaller branches to break up the contour a little bit. So it's starting to look like Big Bird's nest, but I think it's coming along pretty good here. All right. So I found enough branches. I was trying to find some with leaves on it too to really keep it blended in or soften the edges. So I got a bunch of branches and with dead leaves on it, sticks, smaller twigs around the entire blind. So that kind of breaks up my contour a little bit, and it just, I don't know, blends in more with the surroundings. So yeah, feel pretty good about that. Boom. So I get lost pretty easily. So I do everything that I can to ensure that I'm not getting lost opening day walking in here, because that's not helpful to anybody. You don't want to be walking around lost, messing up other people's hunt that are getting in place. Because if you hunt, you know that the minute that sun gets up and it's legally okay to shoot, that's usually your best chances to get a deer, especially opening weekends. So I like to get in, hunker down, get my gun loaded, and just be quiet, so that when the sun does peak up in the morning, I'm ready to go. So one of the things that I like to do is put these little reflective tacks on the trees. I got them on all 3 of the main trees of my ground blind here. They really come in handy when we're coming in the morning, because we get here before daybreak. With it being public land, we like to get in our place before, as early as we can, because, you know, people coming in and let's be honest, with it being public land, you get some people that don't do any scouting, that just show up and sit wherever they see a spot available. So we like to get in as soon as we can, and these reflective markers work very well to find your spot in the dark, because things don't look as clear as they do during the day. At night, I can tell you that. I got lost many times. But I also use this flagging tape that you see here, and I'll flag some of the trees. And I don't go totally nuts. I mean, we don't want to have plastic hanging throughout all of the woods here, but, you know, every 100 feet or so, I'll take a tree, just so when I'm walking in at night, I get an idea of that I'm in the right direction. All right, so I feel like I got my spot pretty much ready for the season here. We have a total of, let's see, myself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a total of 7 people in our camp this year. I have my brother-in-law, Greg, my nephew, his son, Jack, their neighbor, Derek, and his son, Dylan, his friend, Jerry, my brother-in-law, Greg's cousin, Brenda, and his cousin, Renee, and my cousin, Joe. So with myself, that makes 7 people that we're going to have hunting, and we got them strategically placed throughout this entire area so that we have good coverage. So yeah, this is, once you get in the woods here and you start scouting it and looking at things, you really start to get that excitement of being out here. I really am looking forward to another season of hunting, and I really thank my brother-in-law, Greg. As I said earlier, he's been hunting this area since he's been a little child. In fact, the blind that I'm hunting in, he built, 15 years ago. So he's been very gracious in letting me hunt with him, and he's made a lot of mistakes through the years so that I don't have to, and I'm very grateful for that. So Greg, thank you so much. It's always awesome hunting with you. This guy, he's what I would consider a very experienced, avid hunter, unlike myself, who's probably considered a weekend warrior. But I really do enjoy it, and I'm very appreciative. So thank you, Greg. All right, going over to meet Greg and my nephew Jack and Greg's cousin Brenda. We're putting a blind up. We're building a blind for her. So I'm gonna head over there and help them build that if they still need help, and yeah, connect with them. Then you'll get to meet them. So. I'm no poop expert, but it's a bigger piece of poop there. I'm guessing that's got to be a coyote. I can't imagine what else is pooping that big out here. I don't think there's any bear in Kettle Moraine. But yeah, I almost stepped in that. What's up, guys? So this is where Brenda's sitting, or? Yeah. Was this a blind already, or did you start building it? Oh, yeah?
There's been rubs.
Oh, my gosh.
Rubs.
Oh, yeah. There's a rub right there by Brenda's blind that she's building. Hi, Brenda. This is Greg's cousin, Brenda. This is my brother-in-law, Greg. And that's my nephew, Jack. They're the guys that are so gracious to bring us out here with them and show us the ropes, right, Brenda?
That's right.
How you feeling this year? You think this is your year?
Oh, I'm going to bring that big one out.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. What about you, Jack?
I'll get the biggest buck out of everybody.
Oh, really? Big words there, my friend. And Greg?
I'm just hoping I make it to the blind.
That boy.
I'm not going to lie.
All right, so we're taking a look at Brenda's blind here. Very good view. A lot of rubs around it. Greg saw a buck come out of this spot last year, so I just told him. Greg said that Brenda and I have the best chance of getting a deer, which we said we hate when he says that, because then if we don't get one,
Well, we can't sleep.
then we just like losers, right?
Nothing but disappointment.
No, I feel pretty good about our chances. One of us are going to get one this year. I just hope Jack doesn't miss again. Right, Jack?
Yeah. Just hope you don't fall asleep and miss the buck.
Oh, you'll never catch me sleeping.
No?
With
I
this
don't,
recording, we
hey,
will.
I don't sleep. I slay deer. Big deer.
Oh, you're asleep.
We're going to have some fun. This is a goofy bunch. I'm probably the goofiest out of everybody. You'll see that. So Brenda, your dad, Greg's uncle, used to come out with him, right?
Oh, yeah. Same as Frank, because
Yeah, Frank,
Yeah,
Greg's
Frank.
dad. How many years have you come out here?
here,
Yeah.
how long have I been hunting?
Well,
So I've
how
been
many
hunting
years
since
you been?
I was 12.
Really?
Yep. And we used to go up north, up in Vilas County.
Yeah,
And then we used to go to Black River Falls area, too. And go
that's a
hunting.
good area.
Yeah. And then, obviously, once my grandfather passed away and sold the resort, we didn't go up there anymore. And so we've been coming down here probably for the last, I don't know, 8, 10 years.
Yeah, about the same as me, because
Yeah.
I almost have the same story. My grandpa had a place up in Trempealeau,
Yeah.
and same thing. He passed away, then it went through relatives' hands, and then there's arguing and all this stuff, and then the farmer, was limiting who could hunt, and it just fell through. Which, you know what, I was grateful for all the years we had, but we needed a place to hunt, and
I'll tell you this: I'm the only girl.
yeah, go women.
And so for years, I've only been the only girl hunting.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. Like a couple of years ago, my dad and I went to Daniel Boone to do some sighting in.
You're the only
And,
one.
we go hunting, and I'm the girl, and I walk up to get, have you ever been to Daniel Boone up there?
Yeah,
They have little
they're like,
stands where you can-
excuse me, ma'am, the women are all up at the.
Well, they came up to me and goes, "Are you sure you know how to shoot?" And my
Come
dad
on.
goes, "Hey, dude, back off." And he looked at me. He goes, "Brenda, shoot it in the head. Line it up. Boof. Dead center on the head." He goes, "Now shoot it in the ass." And then my dad goes, "You want to go out there and see how well she's doing, or you just want to leave her alone?" He's like, "Sorry." I'm like,
Oh, that's funny.
girls can shoot.
Yes,
dude.
they can.
You know?
Great way to humble them. I know my sister, Jeannie, has come out here a couple times through the years. I think she got a buck not too long ago. But yeah, there's, you know what, for public land, people say, you're not going to get deer in public land. At least that's what people have told me. But man, I've harvested at least 3 or 4 deer out of here.
Yeah.
Missed a couple, and there's been plenty of people in the group here that have gotten them. So they're definitely here. It's just
they're
being at the
here.
right place at the right time and putting in the time.
I got my first buck here.
Yeah?
Yeah, with my
Nice.
brother Rob.
Oh, cool.
So
Cool.
yeah, him and I both were in the same blind together, and all of a sudden, up coming over the bush, we're like, "Oh, 1, 2, 3."
Yeah. And got it. What a feeling, huh?
Oh, that was
Yeah.
an amazing feeling.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, this This is your year, Brenda. I feel it.
I'll be honest. You know, as you get older, I do miss that generation that used to come out with us. You know, that gave us that confidence. That gave us that inspiration.
Well, and just the camaraderie and stuff.
Frank isn't there, and Dave isn't. My dad, David, isn't there anymore, and I miss it.
I'm the same way. I going with my dad all those years, and my grandfather, both of them passed, and then my uncle who passed not long ago. I was thinking about that on the way out here. It's like, man, I really miss those days. I'm grateful for them. But we're starting to build a little bit of camaraderie here between the guys that we got here, and it's still.
And it's nice to see young ones coming out.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
my kids don't have the desire.
Yeah.
Which for me is a little disappointing, but I like seeing Jack out here.
Yeah.
I like seeing
Emily's been out here, and
out here, and I like seeing the young ones come out, and we can take and pass that on down.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah,
just
I know
the
Greg was
traditions.
talking about that, how there's this whole circle of life in hunting where Dad teaches the son, and then the son is now teaching his son. You know, and it's just like it just touches my heart when that happens.
You know how a good sign of a good hunter is when they're missing the Packer game. Yeah. You're missing the Packer game today. That's impressive. Yeah, but you're still representing.
All right, we're still there, you know.
Hi-ho, it's home from work we go. Hi-ho, 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 it's home from work we go. Hi-ho, hi-ho.
So, Greg, how many years you been hunting out here?
This will be the 32nd year.
32nd year?
32nd year. Yes, sir.
Jack, how many years you been out here?
This is your 6th
5?
year.
6? Nice.
I brought him out when he was 6.
That's awesome, Greg. A lot of my best memories were hunting with my dad and my grandpa at your age.
Yep.
You're going to cherish these moments.
I remember those days.
Tradition. I've got you pinned all the way.
Okay.
Hey, pick up your garbage.
Oh, come on,
Am I in my
Brenda.
pocket again?
Brenda, are you serious? Brenda's littering.
No, I am not. It fell out of my pocket.
We're going to put it right in the same pocket that it keeps falling out.
I gotta put it in the other pocket.
All right, so all of them are on your left side as you're walking in or coming out on your right side.
Yeah, those reflective pins are money. Obviously, opening day, we're going to be walking a lot quieter into these woods. Right now, we saw a train running through here.
Come down this way? No, I think I'll come down this way.
That's kind of cool, Greg. So Greg made a little seat here out of an old road sign.
Compliments of the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Yeah. Well, look at that. That is so cool. That is nice. You just strapped it to the tree.
That's it.
And you just put like a little padded seat on there or padded cushion on there.
Little thermal cushion
And that's where, Jack, that's where you sleep. I mean, hunt, right?
It says you. That's how you missed the buck.
I never missed a deer.
Yeah, because you said you supposed
I've passed on deer.
Oh, yeah, because
I'm a trophy hunter.
Trophy slayer, that's
Yeah,
what we do.
trophy slayer. There's a lot of deer I'm going to let pass.
Right, we're looking for something in the 200 class.
Yeah, I want something I'm setting my sights big this year. Anything 12 point and over.
Just like you said last year when you shot that nub.
Okay, we're going to edit that out.
And so your dad's blind was right here.
Right in there. Okay.
Yep, that's literally your dad's old blind.
Okay.
Man, I'll tell you what, technology certainly helps hunting nowadays, eh?
It sure does.
Oh, man, we're using this app here where we can mark everybody's blind. We know where everybody's sitting, how to get in without getting lost.
That's it.
Yeah. What's your plug? You want to give a plug? What's the app you use?
Onyx Hunt. It's the
Onyx
only way to
Hunt.
go.
That's the only way to
Can't
go.
hunt without it.
And if Greg says that, I believe it. That's for sure.
You got to be safe too. You know where the other hunters are.
Yes, you always want to know where your hunters are. Yep.
Off we go.
Off we go.
I'm good.
Hunter down. Hunter down. Yeah, these kettles are no joke, man. If you get your footing.
Yeah. Make sure you're wearing some boots, dude.
Yeah, you got to have good boots on when you're walking these kettles.
Come on, buddy.
And then imagine carrying a rifle or a shotgun as you're walking up and down these kettles. You got to be extra cautious.
Oh, there's my walking stick.
Oh, no. No, this is the walking stick.
Huh? Look at that blind. That blind is money. What do you think, Jack? Impressed?
Sure.
No?
Not bad.
All right, okay. All right. Not totally up to you.
I'll say it's good when you pull 170 out of there.
Oh, okay. All right. You're talking a big game for such a little man over there, Jack.
Yes, that's you. Tiny man.
Be honest. How does it feel to hunt with your uncle who's a big buck hunter?
I'm getting tiny buck energy.
You getting a tiny buck vibe off me?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I'll prove you wrong this year.
Okay.
Watch. Just watch. Never doubt Uncle John.
What do you consider a big buck?
You can see the horns? That's a big buck to me. So, we a little bit bummed that we found a blind near ours. But hey, public land. That's part of hunting public land, right, Jack?
Yeah.
So we're kind of
Gotta share God's good creation.
Yes, you do. It's not. This isn't. Hey, and if we want to whine about it, then we might as well cough up the money and buy our own land, right?
Yeah, buy your own land.
Yeah. Let's. Whoa,
Whoa there, Johnny boy.
Jack, you want to go halves on some land? How much money you got in your piggy bank?
You don't know?
Huh?
You think I know?
You don't know how much money? Do you have a piggy bank?
Obviously.
You do?
Yes.
How much is in it?
I don't know.
Do you know how to count money?
John, I just every time I put a piece of money in there, it's not like I count it and write it down.
You have no clue how much you have in there.
No.
$5, $5,000.
No. Definitely not 5,000 in my piggy bank.
Well, then we ain't buying no land.
You can't drive up in here to pick up the deer.
No.
All right. So we're all scouted. Scouted up. We're ready.
We're gonna be.
We're ready as we're gonna be.
Shout out the woods we're gonna fly.
This is our year. I think we all can get a deer this year. Wouldn't that be nice?
I would.
Yeah?
All on opening day before noon.
Oh,
Oh,
that'd be nice.
that would
It's
be
gonna take
amazing.
the rest of the day to get them out from our hunt.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I know by most standards, we're down to the wire with scouting. I mean, ideally, it'd be nice to come out here a little earlier in fall just to kind of see, maybe even late summer, just see kind of where deer are moving and stuff. But the advantage we have is that Greg has hunted this property for 30 years, 30 plus years, 32 years. So he pretty much knows where these deer like to go and where they run and stuff. So that's a huge advantage for us. I'm certainly taking advantage of it. But it is nice to get out here the weekend before, as we were saying, just to show that there's people in the area that are going to be using this area. And just to get reacquainted with where our shooting lanes are and all that stuff. So, and it just gets the excitement going, doesn't it, Jack? Well, you've been bow hunting for a while now, so
Gets your heart
you've
pumping.
been excited for a while.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Hopefully, when we get back to the car here, Derek and his son Dylan will be there. I can introduce you to them. If not, we'll meet up with them next weekend for our hunt, and you'll meet them then. So, all right, guys. Signing out.